Hi, Josh.
Hey, Mike.
So, you had a good break? A good holiday, I mean?
I did so far. Nothing bad's happened.
Excellent. Me too. Caught up on all my editing. I've edited everything we've recorded so far for both TFTGGW and for Tales of Bob. And that means I get to start working on the next section of Broken Tusk Rising and planning for TFTGGW. And I don't know, maybe I'll do some music. But that's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy about that. I'm pretty excited to have that behind me. Normally, since this is the first release of the month, normally this would be music, but I haven't done any music for a while, any new music, so I don't have any. So instead, Josh and I are going to chat about stuff, because Josh is kind enough to show up here on this Saturday to chat with me. So we got a few things we could talk about. Is there a particular one that you want to talk about, or should we roll a D4?
Oh, we have to do the D4 now. I didn't know that was an option. Yeah.
I mean, there are 4 items I have we could talk about.
D4.
Okay.
I don't have one. You're gonna have...
You don't have one.
No, we're not prepared.
I got one here somewhere. Hold on.
I'll go to D&D Beyond.
I got one here somewhere. Okay. All right. I got a D4. So 1 is we're going to talk about how the TFTGGW campaign is going. 2 is we're going to talk about games you'd like to run in the future without spoiling anything for House of Bob or Tales of Bob. 3 is home games. And 4 is my ongoing effort to rewrite the Star Frontiers game system. All right? 1, how the TFTGGW campaign is going. So this might be a short conversation because all we can talk about is what's been released so far, which is the most recent episode is the one in which the party has recovered from the long combat. This is the second episode after that combat was over. And they're in the Wizard Research Complex, and they're chatting about what to do next. And Zartok makes it clear that he's just going to go carry out the Far Off One's plan, and that they should all get on board. But if they don't, well, that's just too bad, because he's working on fixing up that other Spelljammer, and he could take it all by himself. Is there anything to add there?
Well, has this been the split episode? That was it, right? Or the beginning of it?
The most recent episode is the one in which Zartok announces he's splitting, and then they talk Zartok into going to talk to Mun first.
Gotcha. So
they end the episode with everyone saying they're going to go talk to Mun.
So I did have some folks in the Discord ask me if I'm okay, if I'm quitting the campaign. That's not happening unless Mike kicks me off, which he hasn't told me that's happening yet. If I'm tired of running 2 characters, none of that's happened. Zartok's been setting this up for a while. He was fixing up those Spelljammers, and then now another Spelljammer has come along and started that conversation. So anyway, I don't have any plans to leave, so that's good.
That's good.
So Mike, are you just like way more efficient? You've been doing this campaign for like 4 or 5 years. Are we at 5 years yet? When's it?
Let's see. It launched in. Oh my gosh, was it 2018 or 2019?
I thought it was early 2018.
I think it was early 2018.
So are we coming up on a 5-year anniversary for TFTGGW?
I guess we are.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow, it wasn't supposed to go this long.
Well, how long was it supposed to go for?
Like 2, maybe 3 years.
But what happened if the first group like meandered in the jar for like 3 years?
Yeah, I figured that was possible. But I didn't think that, I guess I didn't think about how opening the outer world up would result in, it's an open world, right? So I didn't think about how it would result in so much more opportunity for getting distracted. It's inevitable. It's not your fault. It's just the way it happens. So the first episodes were released on January 6, 2018. So we're now coming up on 5 years. Yeah, I didn't think it would take this long. I didn't think it would go this long. It's fine. I like the way that you have all directed the story, and I like the way it has gone in directions that I didn't expect. So, yeah, no complaints on my end.
Why do you think it's gone from direct A to B in the first, what would I call it? The first book of the campaign. The group was like, okay, we're going to get this done, and they did it. And this last part, is it the players or the characters, or is it just, you think, just the opportunities? This is your opportunity to blame the players.
Definitely the fact that it was so linear at first was player choices, right? They decided they wanted to have a laser focus on the main storyline, right? When we were in World 83, the players just said, I want to stick to this main story and focus on that, which is great. That's fine. It could have spun off in all sorts of different directions. They didn't have to do that, but that's what they wanted to do. I think there were two things. Number one, we did have a turnover of players, and I don't know, maybe you and Jessica are more interested in pursuing side stuff, or maybe not. I mean, Zartok's clearly wanting to focus. But I think the primary factor that changed things was just the opening of the outer world, right? I mean, season 2 was also outside of World 83, but you had a very clear linear focus to get to the bottom of this research complex, right?
Right.
So that's what happened. You didn't decide, you know what, I'm going to go investigate everything outside and just forget this quest. You could have, but you didn't. And then once it opened up outside of that, that's when it just sort of turned into just world hopping, just going all over the place. And yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. We get to see different parts of the world. I have to think about what they're like and develop them and try to come up with something interesting for you to do. And you guys get to decide how your characters respond to all that and how you deal with some difficult choices.
What about, so this is probably one of 2 campaigns I've ever played in where I've had multiple characters. Have you had that in games before? And how do you think that's gone? How do you think that's worked in this?
I think it's been great. I would do more of it. It wouldn't work in every campaign, right? You don't always have a mobile home base where you can swap out characters, right? So that's not always going to work. But I think it's been great. I love that you and Jessica both have characters you can switch to depending on the nature of the mission and maybe how you feel like playing a character at the moment, right? I mean, you guys have enjoyed it too, I think.
I've liked it. I think it's worked for the reasons you mentioned. And I also think it's interesting, like Chris and Ashley haven't been like, I want a second character to play. Like right. They've been pretty content, and they haven't voiced any discontent with, Jessica and I having 2 characters either. So I think that's been interesting.
Maybe they're secretly fuming, but I
really don't think so.
I don't think so. I think they're satisfied playing one character. I don't really see any need to introduce more characters.
No, I don't think so either. I think, when I've talked to folks about running a campaign where people play multiple characters, they're like, if I wanted to do that, I would be the game master.
Yeah.
I want to be a player. I just want to play my one character. And so I guess I understand where they're coming from.
I can see it either way, and it definitely wouldn't work in every game, right? If you're in the middle of nowhere, you can't just add another character, and then what does it mean to swap them out? Right? I guess you could just have 2 characters at all times. But it seems like that would be actually playing 2 characters at the same time seems like that would actually be a lot of work. So I don't think I'd want to do that. Anyway, I think everything's been going pretty smoothly. As far as where things are going next, obviously we can't talk about episodes that haven't released. But I will say I sort of don't know where things are going. I mean, I know immediately in the next session we have planned for recording what you guys say you're going to do. But more broadly, I don't know what's going to happen. This campaign is so open, I really have no idea where things are going to go. This is not one of those games where I have sort of this great denouement planned, where it'll be dramatic and exciting, and you just have to follow the steps to get there. I really don't know what's going to happen. And that may mean that it ends very badly, We'll just have to see what happens. Hopefully you guys can steer it toward a conclusion you think is interesting.
I think that's what's neat about these games is that we've got movies and books and they follow formulas pretty, they follow formulas because they're successful. Right. Whereas these games, there's dice. We can't follow the formula and so don't know what's going to happen. And I think that's neat.
Right. And they're not the product of one mind or a couple minds trying to write a story that flows in a particular way. This is 5 people, all with their own interests and agendas, all steering things in different directions, and hopefully it leads to a conclusion that makes sense.
Yeah, and like 2 or 3 of them are psychopaths, so it's like crazy. Who knows what they're going to do?
But which ones, listeners? Which ones are psychopaths? Okay, cool. Anything else we should talk about with how the campaign is going?
No, I think that's good, and then we can save the D4 for other things, so we can come up with a different topic.
All right.
If we decide that, if no music arises and we just
I might not have any new music for next month either, so we could just do this again. Cool. All right. Well, thanks, Josh. I hope that your new year goes well, and I'm excited about having a bunch more games with you. Everyone should be sure to listen to Tales of Bob in addition to TFTGGW. We're heading toward the end of book 1 for that, and it's pretty exciting. And we'll have some big changes after that.
It is exciting. Yeah. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
We did it.
And you'll hear more from us soon.